Hi, I'm Todd Kudus with the RTCUE, and today I'll be demonstrating how to remove a 3-inch 8 stud using angular cutters. What we have is a test rig with 3-inch 8 studs threaded into it. We're going to be using a Milwaukee mag-based drill. This is a 4208 drill, and we'll be using 2 13/16 diameter annular cutters. The cutters are sized to be 1/16 of an inch less than the minor diameter of the threads. In this case, a 3-inch stud has a 2 7/8 tap drill. A 16th less than 2 7/8 is 2 13/16. That's important to know because if we are slightly off center with the cutter, we won't cut into the threads in our shell body. Along with the cutter, we have a pilot. The pilot is sized to fit inside of the hole on top of the stud, and the cutter slides over top of the pilot. What this does is get this cutter started into the stud without walking. First thing we need to do in this process is cut the top of the stud off so we can get the top of the stud as low to the casing joint as possible. For now, we'll use a 6-inch wafer wheel on an angle grinder to cut through the stud. Well, notice after cutting the top of the stud off, the surface is very irregular. To get our cutter started properly, we'll use our pilot. This hole is fitted to fit inside of the hole in the stud. And the outside of this is fitted to fit the inside of the cutter. Put that inside there. Now our cutter has a nice round surface to follow, so we can get started into the cut. Engelbart is going to demonstrate how to install the arbor into the holder for the mag-based drill. We slid the arbor into the holder and then threaded the arbor onto the annular cutter. Right now he's attaching the arbor onto the drill. Make sure that the gearbox is in low range. Cutter is up, he's sliding the pilot into the hole in their stud, and then he's going to position the drill so that the cutter slides easily over top of the pilot. Okay, it's now in position. It's going to turn the magnet on the drill. For using the annular cutters, we found that using a cutting oil works best. In this case, we're using Rapid Tap. You could also use a water-soluble cutting oil of your choice. What we do is we put a little bit of oil onto the cutter, a little around the pilot, and we'll start cutting. You also notice the RPMs are going fairly slow for this operation. The mag-based drill is in low speed. This is all manual feed. So now we've cut in roughly 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. We're going to remove the pilot, and now the cutter will follow the existing groove. Put a little more oil on the cutter and on the cutting surface, and we'll continue cutting through the stud. cut about 2 inches in length. We're now getting to below the surface of the casing. You'll notice that as deeper we go, we'll have to clear the chips more often to keep the cutter cutting properly. Right now we're very close to the minor diameter threads, and as we do this, part of the shell of the remaining thread will break off and come up. You can see it right here. So we're going to pull that chip out of there and we'll blow out the hole. Sometimes chips get stuck underneath the cutter and you won't be able to cut. There we go, that's removed. We're going to the blow gun, blow out the groove and go back in with the cutter. Nice clean groove. See, part of the shell is still remaining at the bottom of the hole, and towards the top the shell has come out and you can start to see the threads. See, when we broke through, the core of the stud was stuck inside the bit. We'll take that out. If you look inside the hole, we have the thin shell of the threads left, and the top, the shell came out, so we'll have to go in here with the burr, scribe a line down the center of the threads, and use a thread pick to get the rest of the shell out. So now, continue to work the threads out and pull the remainder of the shell out in one continuous piece. If this breaks off, we'll have to chisel another starting point and start over again. A little bit left in there. See, there's a little bit of shell up at the bottom. Put the pliers on that again and try to pull it out. This concludes the demonstration of removing a stud with the annular cutter. For more information, contact the Boston Tool and Development Center or the Repair Technology Center of Excellence.